It's been years since I've talked about compensation, so let me just figure out what others are getting, and if this is in the ballpark, then that's fine. If it's still low, then we can talk about it.
You would. What you would do is
I want a Lamborghini more. I said I want a Lamborghini.
Planned Parenthood is once again fighting for its very existence, telling Congress they have been slandered by an anti-abortion group willing to do whatever it takes, including editing a secret video to make them appear heartless and cruel sellers of fetal tissue. However, a second video has now surfaced, adding fuel to a fire that remains determined to see the organization lose its federal funding. Legal and moral issues are at stake, and pro-life lawmakers are bearing down on what could be a turning point in the war against legal abortion. First up, let's welcome back president of the pro-life group Live Action, Lila Rose, along with legal analyst and the co-founder of Lawyer Up in the New York metro area, Elura Nanos. Ladies, I want to thank you both for joining us. And Lila, I'm going to begin with you. This second video, other than what could be considered a cavalier attitude, what does it really tell us that we didn't know?
Sure. Well, there's two federal statutes that are in question here that Mary Gatter, the abortionist, one of the top abortionists at Planned Parenthood, this time an affiliate in Pasadena, California, is breaking, or allegedly is breaking in this video. First of all, she talks about changing the abortion procedure so that manipulating the abortion procedure without the patient's knowledge or consent so that she can, quote unquote, use a more crunchy method to deliver a, quote unquote, intact specimen, so that she can harvest the organs of that child without crushing or destroying the body, so she can then harvest the organs. So that's the first thing. And then, of course, the second thing is the entire video, and is a negotiation for how much she's going to be selling the parts to this potential buyer.
Well, isn't there a question about, and Elura, I'm going to come to you, a question about the actual negotiation here, if you will, because there are legal precedences here when it comes down to this tissue. And again, I'm just going to kind of cut the difference here and try to be a little bit down the midline on this. It is legal to do what they currently do, Planned Parenthood, correct?
It's absolutely legal. And what they're doing is absolutely a good service. What they're doing is they're taking voluntary donations of tissue after an abortion and donating them for medical research. It really is in many ways no different than other tissue donations, like a cord blood or something like that. I realize that it comes after a controversial procedure, but that aside, the actual donation of this tissue is no different than it would be in any other circumstances. Legal as long as it's voluntary.
That's a flat-out false statement, and there's zero humanity in your comment. You're just saying it's just like donating cord blood to tear apart a child. Some of these children are 20 weeks along, 5-month-old child, and harvest the organs. Where's your humanity?
Okay, if you would, Lila, one second, please. Elura, go ahead and answer her.
The difference is that it comes after a controversial procedure, which I certainly understand.
Why is it controversial?
However,
why is the procedure?
Hold on, Elura. Hang on 1 second, Elura. Let Lila go ahead now. I'm sorry. Lila, hang on. Elura, go ahead.
The difference is it is no different. And being callous is basically the only argument that people like Lila have for why this is bad, because it sounds callous to talk about difficult medical procedures. It certainly does sound callous, and medical professionals have to do things like that all the time. So, but sounding callous is really a lousy argument for why an organization is breaking the law or doing something unethical. Sounding callous is not wrong.
There are several points, Elura, that you're totally not responding to.
Okay, Elura, let her go ahead. Elura, let her go ahead, please. Lila, you said there were a couple of questions, please.
Yeah, there's a couple things that both Ed, I haven't heard you directly address, or Elura, and they're key points. First of all, in both videos, the abortionists are talking about how they changed the abortion procedure for the harvest of organs without the patient's knowledge or consent. That's against a federal statute. The second thing is in the first. Watch the video, watch the tape, read it from her own mouth. The second point is that in the first video, the senior medical director for Planned Parenthood, their top abortionist, is talking about how she actually practices the illegal late-term partial birth abortion procedure in order to harvest organs, to deliver the torso intact, to deliver the baby breech, and that's also a clear violation of federal statute.
Okay, now let's go ahead and get to that 1 second, Lila, because Elura's the lawyer on this. Now, Elura, what Lila has just stated, is that indeed a violation?
Is it a violation to sell baby parts? It is, but that's not what's happening here. No, I watched this video, and I've been in a lot of courtrooms. I've seen a lot of witnesses. From watching this, I see no evidence of anything other than a video that's been chopped up to purportedly prove something. I don't even see that it's saying what people like Lila are saying it does.
Elura,
I see
are you
nothing
familiar
wrong
with
with this
federal
video.
statute
I think a woman who's in the business of this woman in this video is
You're
very
not
clearly
responding to what I'm saying.
Elura, 1 second here, because I've only got about a minute left. What about the federal statute, though, Elura? That's what Lila is discussing here at this moment.
I see
federal
no.
statute about
This
manipulating
video
the
to me
about
doesn't
partial
show
birth
even
abortion.
a hint of an allegation. It doesn't even show anything that raises any red flags for me about any federal
statute. You don't want to address what these
statutes.
abortionists are admitting on tape.
Okay.
Because you're saying Planned Parenthood's talking points. You don't want to address what they're actually admitting on tape.
Let's go ahead. I only got about 30 seconds left. Elura, is this, in your opinion, then, this is the smoking gun that you need and that people on your side of the argument need in order to go ahead and make a change here when it comes down to the funding, correct?
I think there's been plenty of evidence already, Ed, for years. So this is just more evidence to the pile of evidence. There's been evidence of all kinds of abuses, illicit activities. It's insane. It's literally insanity that we, on both sides of the political aisle, are funding this abusive organization $1.5 million every day. It has to stop.
All right. Well, I tell you what, unfortunately, we're out of time on all this. But again, this is something that I know we've discussed here before between the three of us. We're going to have you all back again because there's a lot to go here when it comes down to the defunding of Planned Parenthood, what will happen, what may happen, and what these videos will tell us eventually. Lila Rose and Elura Nanos, I want to thank you both for joining us very much. We do appreciate it. We will continue to follow the story. And again, whether or not these videos actually tell what the story is still something that is open to interpretation. Coming up next, your comments. Let us know what you think about this, the defunding of Planned Parenthood, and what you think these videos show. Facebook, Twitter, and also email. The Hardline continues.